Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's the only place that you'll find our expansive resource library. Every form, checklist, visual and dialogue that you'll ever need to systemize your business. Available to edit in PDF to rapidly take your business to the next level. Welcome to High Performance, the podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, one of the really powerful concepts is this whole idea around a virtual boardroom. And a virtual boardroom is like thinking, hey, before I go to make any decision, what would someone like that do in this particular situation? So whenever I'm thinking about something, I go, okay, great. What would Alex Phillips do when he's putting a deal together? If I'm thinking about other things, I'm like, who are some other business leaders or people that I might have met over time? You've had the chance to not only have a virtual boardroom, but you've also had, some of the greats that have surrounded you. So Debbie Donnelly and off the back of that, Jason Panzer and other people that have worked inside of the PPD business. How important is it for an agent to have like a group of people in their own mind that they can reference to, particularly when they get into situations? How would I close? What do I do to be able to get a better fee? How do I make sure that I can go and build a good quality team? And be able to reference those type of people to be able to align their thinking to what the greats would do to be able to become a phenomenal agent.
Hi, Josh. Thanks for having me again today. I think what's really important is to always have role models and people that you look up to, but also you're always learning and looking at ways of getting better. And the best way of doing that is surrounding yourself with the right people and getting to know those people, those role models. People like, I had like Ivan Brezic and whatnot, where you could actually bounce ideas off and you learn from them, grow from them, but you can also implement certain aspects of how they do business into, the way you do it. Like I even still call you if there's, if I've got problems or, struggling with, certain parts of, day-to-day business. And I think if you pull yourself away from that moment and think about different avenues, you're not so pigeonholed to doing maybe the wrong way, and you can actually implement something else that will help you get there. So I think by having someone there that you can bounce off or look back on, that you've spoken to, and then use that into creating that deal, it's definitely something that has helped me throughout the years.
The interesting thing I remember, I think that we had a coffee with your dad at one point, the great Ron Phillips, and like at that stage, I think you were writing like maybe $1.2 or $1.3 million or something a year in fees. And your dad looked at me and said, how much do you reckon Alex could write? And I said, I reckon he could do 3 every day of the week. And mate, I had no idea how we were going to do that. And I remember your dad turning to you at that point and saying, Alex, it's time to get hungry again. That's kind of pretty awesome to actually have a fatherly figure that wanted to push you and would see that you could actually do some great stuff. How important was it to have, that sort of fatherly figure in someone like Ron to kind of push you a bit and to, hold you to high expectations?
Josh, I think it's super important. That's what, it sort of makes you, or gives you that drive, makes you accountable. If there's something going wrong, you sort of go, okay, what would he want me to do? How would he act? It creates, more push and motivation to keep continuing to keep your foot on the pedal all the way through.
I think this is such a foundational idea. Like in the early days, like we would have just bottled the unbelievable energy that Ivan Brezic had in his heyday as a lead agent. You would have looked at what Shannon Whitney was doing around marketing at the time. You're going to look at what John McGrath did to the revolution of the industry around photography and some of those things. You start having a quick look about what you've done, and then you go and have a look at other people inside of your business. Young Charlie Beaumont's doing some incredible things inside of PPD about their visualization and videos and what they're doing with property. And what you realize very, very quickly is that literally, comparison is actually something that should inspire you. And also to, when you think about a virtual boardroom, hey, what would this person do in this particular situation? So how do I actually land the ball? So when I think about people that are working inside of your infrastructure, someone like a Vince, for example, I have no doubt that he would say, hey, how would Alex want me to do this particular open home? How would Alex want me to manage this particular vendor? How would Alex actually want me to go and do that? And this is really great because they're building an idea about a set of customer experience standards that absolutely need to be delivered. That's a really important conversation, right? That you say that, hey, if you're going to work inside the Alexander Phillips team, this is what our expectations would be. How aligned are people to you when you go to have a look at your team members around expectations in the delivery of customer experience?
Yeah, everyone's fully aligned. I think that's because we've all got monthly, weekly goals. We're meeting twice a week. There's we all talk to each other. We're in an open plan office, and we know the expectations are set out. But basically from day one, and they know that they're really high, and to do that you have to be on your A game and pushing super hard.
So I always just think, okay, great. Who's the best prospector I know? The best lister, the best negotiator, the best at running an auction campaign, the best at marketing property, the best at quality of calendar, the best at quality of life, the best person in terms of being able to have a bit of business balance and being able to take time off and have holidays. And how could I go and sit next to that person for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, get a coffee with them, have a conversation with them and learn from them and then go and put that back in my business and build the systems around it. And that's actually what becomes you as a phenomenal agent, is that you learn from lots of different people and that actually becomes what you are in that marketplace.